Hey guys, this is Jonathon Henderson with Pressure Washing Marketing Pros. In today's video, I want to talk about the marketing strategies for pressure washing businesses doing $0 to $10,000 a month. And we're going to go over the goals and challenges you face at $0 to $10,000 a month. We're going to go over all of the marketing factors that basically comprise of a business and how you can leverage marketing in each one of these factors and scenarios in that sense. And then I'm going to give you guys some key takeaways and action steps for what you guys need to go ahead and do right after watching this video so that you can immediately get results. And the thing is who is this video specifically for? Well, this is going to be businesses or pressure washing businesses that are new or smaller. These are going to be owners who do this part-time that want to take it full-time, and they're struggling to go ahead and do so because they're like, I need more leads, I need more consistency, I need that security. Trust me, I've been there, guys. I was in the Air Force, and like I said, before doing this full time, I understand the struggle and wanting to have that security. And so this is also going to be for businesses that are struggling to get leads consistently and businesses that have limited to no marketing budget, right? And so the main goal at this stage for your pressure washing business when you're doing $0 to $10,000 a month is you need to get leads with little to no marketing spend, and you need to build a foundation for the long term, right? And so some of the key challenges you have is you have no brand awareness, so nobody knows who you are. You have limited to no marketing budget. So this all this glamour that you see from Facebook ads, SEO, Google ads, you can't invest in because you don't have a marketing budget, right? And you have no reputation. So therefore you're not getting reviews, so you're probably charging lower because you have no reputation. You're not getting any referrals, and these things lead to a combination of what? Limited to inconsistent lead flow, right, guys? And so how do you overcome these challenges? Well, you focus on free and low marketing strategies. You leverage your existing network, referrals, and organic reach. And there's some digital tools I'm going to go ahead and show you guys to establish credibility, right? And so here are all 22 factors. I'm going to go over all of them right now, guys. So that you guys know how marketing impacts all 22 of these factors, because I believe that all 22 of these factors that I'm showing right now, guys, basically will help you know everything that you need to know in terms of how you need to market your business for the future. So let's go ahead and get started. So first is going to be business goals. Because when you're marketing, you need to know your business goals, right? And so why does it matter? Well, the new business must decide between focusing on immediate lead generation versus brand building. Because the short-term priority that you're going to have is you need to get customers ASAP, right? But the long-term goal is you want to build a trusted name in your community and your area. And so your marketing approach that you need to have is you need to focus on quick sales and direct outreach, guys. So that may be like going door to door and knocking on 30 doors per day in a high-come area. And a lot of guys will end up saying that I don't want to knock doors. If you don't want to knock doors, then at that point, it's going to be very difficult for you to get initial jobs. Of course, you can use yard signs. You can go ahead and use, door hangers and different things like that. But at that same time, though, guys, you want to use, the most cost-effective marketing methods while having a good ROI. So that means you could be cold calling property managers and real estate agents. And also what I like for guys to do when they're at this beginning stage is offering discounts or even free washes, right? For at least 10 jobs in their first month in that sense. So guess what? You can get those Google business profile reviews, which we'll be talking about at a later time. But you want to go ahead and get early customer reviews on Google, Facebook, and Yelp, as you guys can see. And you want to keep your branding simple but professional. So that means having obviously your business name established, your logo, your phone number on all marketing materials, having a super basic website for legitimacy, which we'll talk about as well. And so the key takeaways here, guys, when it comes to your business goals is you need to focus on fast lead generation while laying the foundation for your long-term branding. And you need to prioritize free and grassroots marketing strategies before paid ads. And you want to build your early social proof, right? And you can capture that, guys, with at least offering discounts or free work for, 10 jobs. And what's funny enough, guys, is that guys will say, well, man, that's a lot of hard work. Well, you're at $0 to $10,000. You need to really lay that foundation. And guess what? If you got 10 reviews, or let's say you did, 5 heavily discounted or free jobs a month, and you did that over the course of 1 year at that point, right? If you got 5-star reviews on your Google business profile for all 5 of those, that's 60 reviews in 1 year, right? And so that is what you guys want to go ahead and do. And that's how you build your early social proof in that sense. And so your business location, where your business is located at, does matter. You know what I mean? I don't care what anybody says, especially when you're in a home service business. And why does it matter? Because marketing strategies differ based on the population size, the competition, and demographics. So usually, the larger the population, the more competition there is. And so the marketing approach you need to go ahead and have, guys, right? If you're in an urban area, which is high competition, which is 750,000 plus people, you need to prioritize gathering customer reviews heavily on your Google business profile for credibility, right? You need to do direct outreach, like I told you guys, door knocking, cold calling to build quick momentum. And why is that? Because other businesses are going to Google those other authoritative businesses, because if you're in a high competition area in that sense, it's going to be very difficult for you to show up on Google from businesses that are very established, that are already doing this. So therefore, online marketing is going to be very hard. And then guys that are, maybe 3 or 4 years ahead of you, they might be doing like yard signs, door hangers. So that's why I said direct outreach is going to be best. Also, when you're in a high urban area, you can focus on premium or specialty services like roof cleaning, paver sealing to differentiate yourself from competition. Because what ends up happening from these businesses that actually are a lot bigger than your business, they're actually going to want to go ahead and use a strategy and only get jobs that fit their process and fit their system. So you can go ahead and leverage them being so productized and so systemized in that sense. For example, if there's businesses doing $2 to $3 million, they're probably not trying to take every single job, or they're not, they're probably going to be focused on jobs that they know that their guys can knock out quick at a high premium price and get out of there, right? And so a lot of them, since their businesses are so standardized at that point, you can focus on those specialty services that they don't necessarily offer because they can't scale it with as many employees that they have, right? And so you can leverage that to your advantage. Suburban areas, right, which are going to be moderate competition, and the population is going to be about 300,000 to 750,000 people. When you're in this range, you want to engage consistently in neighborhood Facebook groups offering, offers or sharing offers and testimonials. And the reason why that is, guys, is because it's low cost, essentially free, guys, at that point. And since you're in Facebook groups, like local neighborhood Facebook groups at that sense, that's going to go ahead and establish and build some branding for you, especially if you do an offer. Like if you go in a Facebook group and you're offering like 3 free house washes, if people in there comment or tag, like let's say that you made an offer post and somebody goes in there and they tag, right? And like you have directions for them and you say, hey, in order to qualify for this free house, for these 3 free house washings, you need to go ahead and tag somebody that you believe needs our service at that point, and then share this post, right? Or not even share the post, but just like this post and then tag somebody. Because the reason why you want them to like the post is because that creates engagement. And then if they tag somebody, that also creates engagement. But guess what? If they tag somebody that they know that might need this service at that point, not only are the people commenting on that post your potential clients, but people that got tagged on that are also now your potential clients. So now you're 2xing your visibility in that sense, right? And so you want to launch direct mail campaigns too when you're in suburban areas that are between $300,000 and $750,000 in population, or it's not $1,000, but 300,000 to 750,000 people in population. You want to go ahead and launch like direct mail campaigns. And the reason why, guys, I say that this is effective is because it's still like a good sized community size to where not as many businesses are probably going to be leveraging that and doing that, right? And so it's not going to be like if you're in an urban area, everybody gets bombarded with those type of direct mail campaigns. But when you're in a suburban area, it's a little easier and more cost effective when you have postcards when you're in that stage, right? And then you want to develop partnerships with local home service businesses like landscapers, roofers to drive referrals. And so you want to go ahead and make sure that you're networking with these guys that may even be in the same position as you. Like guys that might be doing like $0 to $10,000 that are landscapers or whatever it may be. They're probably looking for referral networks too. And so what you can do is you guys can leverage that. Both of you guys can work together in that sense, and you can say, hey, I know you do landscaping. If any of your clients need pressure washing, I'm the guy. And vice versa. And then after that, you're starting to get more clients with less time, because when you're at this stage, time is money, right? And you have to leverage your time because you don't have as much money. And so when you're in a small town or rural area, which I consider to be under 300,000 people in population in that point, then you can literally fully optimize and actively, you know, optimize your Google business profile because you're going to have lower local competition, and so you're going to have a higher visibility potential. And I usually tell that to guys, right? when when guys need quick jobs, right? And let's say that they actually, are doing a decent amount and they have enough money to invest in, right? I always say if you're in an urban high area, like high competition area, and you're above $10,000, I always say, even though I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, I always tell those guys, do Google ads, do all of that because they need quick wins. But I tell my guys that are between $0 to $10,000, you might be able to go ahead and actually potentially rank. You know what I mean? Because there's not going to be as much competition, right, when it comes to your Google business profile. So you can leverage, community engagement through sponsorships like school events, local markets, right, in those small rural areas. And once again, you can also partner with local businesses as well, like I talked about, with roofers, realtors, landscapers, and such. Because when you're in a small town like that, everything is heard by everybody, right? So word travels really fast. And so that is what you can go ahead and leverage as well. And so the key takeaways here, guys, when it comes to your business location is going to be high population areas should emphasize reviews and direct outreach, right? Suburban locations should, go ahead and emphasize Facebook groups, direct mail and local partnerships. And then if you're in rural areas, fully optimize Google business profile, community involvement and having strong local referrals, right? So now let's talk about market competition, because your market competition also determines how you're going to do your marketing, right? And so why it matters is the more competitors in your area, the harder and more expensive it is to get leads, right? And so your marketing approach, if you're between $0 to $10,000 and in a high competition area, as we just talked about, right? Focus on reputation and differentiation. So that means that faster response times and better service. Because haven't we all heard that bigger company that never answers their phone, and then you're like, hey man, those guys complained that they didn't answer the phone. I'm able to answer the phone. Well, that always happens with those those bigger companies. At some point, if they're, I shouldn't say it always happens, but we know those bigger companies that don't answer the phone a lot of the time. And so you can leverage that to your ability. Or guess what? Those businesses that actually, or have been in business, or those bigger businesses at that point, what ends up happening is they get overbooked, right? And so those are one things that you can also leverage as well if you're at $0 to $10,000, is that you can go ahead and have faster response times and have demand, to be able to do the job a lot quicker than that other company in that sense, right? Because they have so many jobs. And as I talked about again, offer specialty services in that sense that nobody else is mainly doing or wants to do as much, because you will be able to go ahead and get those leads. And so in low competition areas, like I said, easy to rank in Google Maps, SEO efforts will pay off quickly with a simple website, 3 to 5 service pages in that sense, which we'll get to about digital marketing. And so the key takeaways is that, like, if you're in a high competition area, market, it requires differentiation, meaning that you need to basically key on what makes you different than those larger companies, right? Faster service, faster response time, faster, to get the job completed. And in very low competition markets, that allow you, they allow you to rank faster in that sense. So you can use your Google business profile and leverage that, get reviews, and use some of the strategies that we talked about in the beginning, like Facebook groups and different things like that, and local partners, so that you can start getting those reviews, because that's really going to help you rank. And so you build a strong reputation early on to avoid completely solely on price, which we'll get to as well. So the number of years in business as well also affect your marketing, right? And so that's one of the factors I want to talk about. And so why it matters is that if you're new, because you're probably new if you're between $0 to $10,000 in that sense. So new businesses lack credibility and must work harder to build trust. And so your marketing approach here is you need to be transparent about being new, but you can also be transparent about you being skilled. So like you can say things like, we're a new business, but we have the best equipment. You can offer risk-free guarantees like 100% satisfaction, or we'll redo it for free. You can also, say like, hey, since I'm new, we don't have as many clients as these other bigger companies, so I can go ahead and service you a lot faster than these other kind of businesses as well. You can also leverage prior experience, because a lot of guys that I talk to that are between $0 to $10,000, they've worked for another pressure washing company before. That's why they want to do it now. And so if you worked for another pressure washing company, mention it, right? So that people can gain your trust. Or if you're skilled in just, you've worked in another sector of home improvement, highlight that knowledge as well and cross-reference that. You know what I mean? And so the key takeaways here is be transparent about being new while emphasizing, your key qualities and your advantages like professionalism, expertise, how fast you can get out there, and priority that you can make that, or how you can make that customer priority over another business, right? Offer satisfaction guarantees to overcome trust concerns, and leverage any prior experience if you have it. And so your current digital marketing presence, guys, that's another factor I want to talk about, because a weak or non-existent online presence makes it hard for people to find your business. And so your marketing approach when you're between $0 to $10,000 should go ahead and be, and I know I talked about, guys, on the Google business profile, but every business, no matter if you're in a high competition area or not, you should start with your Google business profile first in that sense. I just say that guys that are in lower rural market areas, they can actually focus on their Google business profile and get much more of a return than guys that are in a highly populated area that aren't. But regardless of the fact, you should have a Google business profile and start getting reviews on there, right? Because that's going to be the foundation to, guess what, guys? How your business is seen online. And it's becoming ever more important with the implementation of AI as well, because ChatGPT and these different search generative engines, they basically go ahead and utilize for local searches. Like if you were to go to ChatGPT and say like, what are the best pressure washing companies near me in like Canton, Ohio, right? They're gonna go ahead and actually link the Google business profile. And so that's something that you'd want to go ahead and focus on. You need to do so, like add 10 photos immediately to it, just optimize it as much as you can for your Google business profile. Guys, when it comes to your website, when you're between $0 to $10,000, you don't really need the works. You don't really need something that's going to be eye-catching, eye-popping just yet. You need something that's going to go ahead and allow customers to be able to find you, to be able to engage with their business online, but that's about it. So there's free options, which I need to take down this Google Sites right here, guys, because Google Sites is not one. You know what I mean? But like, there's Wix, there's WordPress, guys, and so you guys can find guys on different things like Upwork, onlinejobs.ph, Fiverr. You guys can get a cheap $500 website from these type of guys out there in that sense. And so you don't need the works. You don't need something that's going to be super expensive for you in that sense. And so that is why I always tell guys is that you just need people to see your pricing, your services, and have some way to go ahead and contact you. That's all you need. And then you can claim your social media accounts like your YouTube, Instagram, because guess what? Facebook posts get indexed on Google, right? On Instagram, those posts also do as well. And those are things that Google looks at too in terms of your total branding. There's guys that I know that are very popular that are doing like $0 to $10,000, and they may do this part-time, and they have like extremely well done TikToks, right? And they have a lot of followers on there, and they automatically rank, especially if they're in a rural area. And so that is why I always say, like, claim your social media accounts are top ones, because even on YouTube, who owns YouTube? Google owns YouTube. And so that's why it's good to go ahead and leverage those accounts. And some more that I'll mention that I mentioned here are going to be like Nextdoor and such, right? Like Nextdoor, Angie, all of that you can go ahead and claim. And so the key takeaways here is that for your digital marketing presence, when you're between $0 to $10,000, is Google business profile, a simple website, right? And just post daily on Facebook and Instagram and claim those top directories as such, right? Like your Yelp and things like that. So revenue and profitability of your business right now really does matter in terms of what you're going to do for your marketing. And so why, your revenue and profitability matters is because new businesses need revenue ASAP, but they must avoid spending too much on marketing, right, guys? And so as we talked about previously, referrals, flyers, yard signs, door knocking, those hardly cost anything, and the ROI is very high. And one new thing that I'll add on here is that you want to price smartly to cover expenses. So don't undercharge. I feel like a lot of guys, when they're at this stage, they really undercharge in that sense. And so you still want to have a minimum, And if you're not gonna have a minimum and you're gonna, you're gonna undercharge, just do the job for free. Because when you do the job for free, it gives you more leverage in that sense. You might say, Jonathan, I'm not making any revenue. You're talking about me making revenue. Well, if you do the job for free, I guarantee you that individual will have no problem giving you a Google review. And that Google review is going to help you to get more jobs in the future. So sometimes you got to think as your business as an investment and not try to just be truly as transactional in the very beginning. Because one of my mentors taught me, he said, Jonathan, you either do two things, price appropriately or do it for free. Right? Because I've learned a big mistake, and I got one of the biggest chargebacks I ever got, right? Because I priced something so low that I was creating so much value, right? And so I priced it very low and I got in more than what I could take in that sense. And so a lot of guys have probably been in the similar situation where you accepted a job where you're like, man, I underbid or underpriced this significantly, right? And so another thing that you guys can do is you can offer package deals, to where you're going on there, which I'll expound upon more as we go on in this video. But you can offer package deals like, hey, house washing, driveway cleaning, and offer a discounted price as well, so that you can bring that revenue and that minimal price up more, right? And so key takeaways here is prioritize free and low marketing to generate revenue early, price smartly so you don't want to undercharge your jobs, and offer package deals to increase your per customer revenue at that point. So the team structure, guess what, guys? Why it matters? When you're between $0 to $10,000, more than likely 90% of the time you're a solo operator. So therefore you must be efficient with time since you handle everything. And so my marketing approach when it comes to, basically your team structure in that sense, when you're between $0 to $10,000 is going to be in the mornings, right? Do outreach and do social media posts, right? Afternoons, do your service jobs. In the evening, follow up and, do customer calls in that sense, because that's one of the most pivotal and critical things. And I will really talk more in depth about this later on in this video. But right now, I would say guys don't structure their day properly. As soon as they wake up, they're going to do a job. They're not answering the phone. And so they wonder why they're playing this rat race of never growing their business. It's because they're not properly managing their time, right? And so I'm going to show you guys later on in the video the exact schedule you should have. Because one of the factors that we do have that we're going to be talking about later on is going to be the owner's involvement, right? But you guys can use digital tools to, stay organized. And so Google Calendar for scheduling, Trello, that's a free task management tool or project management tool that you can use as well. And so key takeaways, guys, here for your team structure is probably just you. And so how does that affect your marketing? Well, solo operators must maximize efficiency. So time block for marketing, jobs, and admin work, and sales work in that sense. Use digital tools like Google Calendar and Trello to stay organized. And as I will talk about later on, you can scale by hiring a helper or virtual assistant, right? And so one other thing when it comes to a factor as well is going to be your current processes and systems. That's going to affect how you're going to market at $0 to $10,000. Right? So why it matters. New businesses often lack organized systems, leading to missed leads, disorganized scheduling, and poor customer follow-ups, guys. And so the marketing approach you need to go ahead and have is that you need to set up a simple lead tracking system. So either use Google Sheets or a CRM, preferably a CRM. And there's cheap CRMs out there like Markate. There's other CRMs out there like Jobber, right? And House Call Pro. But you want to get this basically under control and under wraps so that you can track all your leads. You don't know how many guys I talk to, guys, between $0 to $10,000 where they actually don't have a CRM in place. And so I say, do you have a CRM? And they say no. And I say, well, dude, how are you tracking all your leads? You don't know how many customers you have. You probably don't even know all your customers' names at this point. And so that's why, whenever you're tracking this information, you need to track things like the customer name, phone number, service requested, the date you contacted them, and the follow-up date, the job status, right, their address, the service that they wanted, which is service requested. These are things that you need to go ahead and manage and track. And then you need to automate appointment scheduling, which you can use CRMs, Google Calendar, Calendly, and different things for scheduling. So you can send text reminders to avoid no-shows or people that cancel at the last minute. Because guys that are doing $0 to $10,000, they may not have the technology or capability or the manpower to go ahead and maybe call clients right beforehand, because you might be super busy, you might have a job, whatever it may be in that sense. And so what you want to go ahead and do is you can leverage that technology in that sense. And so you also want to create basic invoicing and payment system. So that means getting Square, getting Jobber, getting a QuickBooks for easy invoicing, and having it be able to offer multiple payment options at that point as well. Because as we talked about, previously in this video, when it comes to your time as an owner, you don't want to be sitting here manually sending out invoices doing such. You want to have like a basic invoicing and payment system in that sense that can do that work for you. And so, other things that you guys can do is, keep equipment and supplies organized, right? And develop a follow-up system. So the first thing that I talked about, keep equipment and supplies organized, is just make sure you have you store your tools neatly for easy job preparation, have backup equipment and supplies so that you avoid job delays, and then also make sure that you develop a follow-up system. So days after a job, send a thank you text and a request to leave a review. 3 months later, you can follow up to see if they need another cleaning. And so these are the things that you want to do when it comes to your current processes and systems. These are the 5 main things, guys. Set up a simple lead tracking system, automate appointment scheduling, create a basic invoicing and payment system, develop a follow-up system, and keep your equipment and supplies organized so that you're doing things as efficiently as possible. And so the key takeaways, guys, here is implement that basic lead tracking system, automate appointment scheduling, and set up invoicing, right? So what are your current marketing initiatives? This is another factor, guys. What are your current marketing initiatives? Like, what are you currently doing for your marketing? So new businesses often have no structured marketing plan. They have no marketing that they're currently doing, which leads to wasted time and effort or inaction. Because if you don't have a plan, people are more motivated by when they have a plan. Like if I gave you an exact thing to do step by step and it was guaranteed to work, you would probably take action on that. If you didn't have a plan at all, that's why we don't take action. And so whatever you're doing right now, you need to go ahead and focus on the most effective free strategies first. I'm not going to go over this as much, about the free strategies, because we talked about them a lot at the beginning of the video. But you need to be at this stage when it comes to your marketing approach, right? When it comes to your current marketing initiatives, is guys really need to track what works. So you can ask things like, how did a customer find out about you? And double down on what's working instead of wasting time elsewhere. So for example, if you're putting out, I hear so many guys say, I put out direct mail and it didn't work. Either one, you didn't put out enough volume in that sense. And so at that point, your revenue may not be able to go ahead and, you may not be able to buy more direct mail in that sense. So just stop it, right? Just stop using direct mail and use another avenue that might be working for you, which might be door knocking, which might be a referral network that you have, and double down on what's working, because you need to, because money matters at this stage right now, more than ever. And so, using a simple marketing schedule, a lot of guys don't have that. So as you need to organize your time, you need to organize your marketing. So that means like on Monday, if you only want to do it 3 days a week, that's fine. So like on Monday, post a before and after photo on Facebook. Wednesday, post an educational video on your social media platforms. Friday, share a customer testimonial or special offer that you're doing. And if you are consistently doing that, consistency wins the game. People are going to see your content. People are going to go ahead and know who you are, and you're building that brand, right? Because one thing that guys don't understand is they say, well, how will a simple Facebook post help me? Well, I tell a lot of guys, if you want to run Facebook ads, like you don't know how many guys that I've had to where they were like ran Facebook ads at a certain point, and they were doing pretty well, maybe like $30,000 a month in that sense, right? Where they're doing about $300,000 a year. And guess what, guys? They had no videos on their Facebook, no posts on their Facebook, no organic presence on their Facebook. So when they ran Facebook ads, people are going to go to your Facebook and see, what you have on there, to know a little bit more about you before they click to call you in that sense, or to contact you to fill out their information. And so one big thing is having a simple marketing schedule and posting this stuff is going to help you, and also it's going to create and leverage that brand and foundation for you for the future, right? And so that's one thing that you need to do. Also, when it comes to your marketing calendar, since we're in the exterior cleaning industry, there's going to be demand, right? There's going to be seasonality in it. And so in slow months, you want to go ahead and make sure that you have a marketing calendar and different things that you want to do, like running limited time promotions. And then in busy months, you might want to focus on upselling larger jobs instead of getting more leads. Because getting more leads, guess what? That's going to tax you more. And therefore, at this stage, when you're between $0 and $10,000, you don't have, you have all the time in the world. But when you start getting busy during the busier months, you start not having any time at all. And so instead of getting more leads, because when you get more leads, you're going to be like, well, I got these 8 jobs booked right now. Well, that's why you're not growing. So instead of doing that, you can upsell and focus on those larger jobs to get that same revenue and to recoup that. You know what I mean? And so the key takeaways here is to focus on, Google Business Profile, Facebook groups, all of that. Track lead sources to double down on what's working, and follow a marketing schedule and calendar. Posting on social media, fixing your marketing based off of the seasonality or where you're at in that sense of the season and the demand in the slower winter months or the busier spring and summer months as well. And so your current lead flow, this is another factor I want to talk about, guys, is your current lead flow and conversion rates also do matter, right, when it comes to your marketing. And so generating leads is one thing, but turning them into paying customers is another. So what does your lead flow and conversion on those leads look like, guys? And so your marketing approach when you're at $0 to $10,000 is that you need to respond to leads fast. Because since you're a one-man band, what ends up happening sometimes is guys get too busy being on the truck that they don't answer the phone. You know what I mean? Therefore, speed to lead, if you don't, go ahead and follow up with that lead very quickly, what ends up happening is you lose it. So you need to respond to leads fast. Contact every lead within, it says 30 minutes, but honestly, I would say within 5 to 10. But I'm being reasonable because guys might be out on the field, all of that stuff, right? But at the very least at the very most 30 minutes, I should say. But typically you want to follow up within at least 5 minutes. Use text, call, and email follow-ups to increase response rates, right? So offer instant quotes to create conversions. So if you're actually not that, $0 to $10,000 business owner a month that's not actually, really busy and you're actually kind of slow, offer instant quotes. So it's like, hey, a standard house wash in your area is like this. We can get this done today, right? So as you can see right here, like, hey, like if I was going to do this, hey, my name is Jonathan. Thanks for reaching out. A standard house wash in your area is $250 to $350 depending on size. We can get this done today. When's a good time for us to come by? So now it's like, I know that I can leverage me not being that busy by getting that job done today. And so in today's world, people care about convenience more than anything. So they really care about convenience, and they want convenience over everything. And so, we want to be able to have, our DoorDash, right? Food at our fingertips, technology at our fingertips, answers at our fingertips, right? So today's human is driven by convenience. Make it convenient for them. And so another marketing approach is focus on unclosed leads, which, text some people. If you have that downtime or free time, if you're doing $0 to $10,000, all of your time should be going to try to go ahead and get leads. And so, you can go ahead and look at all the people that have been unclosed or that you haven't worked with and go ahead and send them some follow-up texts, right? You like, hey, day 1, initial follow-up text, like whatever it may be. Day 3, you can go ahead and say like, hey, we have openings on the calendar and I wanted to fit you in. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and reach out to you, right? Day 7, offer them a discounted price, whatever it may be to go ahead and get the job right now. Also, you can upsell and cross-sell. So if that person also booked a house wash, you can go ahead and try to upsell them by saying what? You want to add a driveway cleaning for $99 more, right? And so that's what you want to go ahead and do when you're converting these leads and you have your lead flow. So the key takeaways when it comes to your current lead flow and how you're converting those leads is speed is key. Respond to every lead within 5 minutes, in my opinion, but I'm going to say at least 30. Offer instant quotes and instant jobs as well, so that in pre-built, pricing packages to increase conversion rates, and also follow up with unclosed leads at least 3 times, whether that's via text, call, or email. And the operative word right here, at least 3 times. You know what I mean? Not at most, at least 3 times, because sometimes it takes people, heck, some of you guys that reach out to me, you guys might not close until I talk to you 8 times. You know what I mean? And so people don't just buy immediately. Think about the last time you went on Facebook. When did you just buy something from Facebook from somebody the first time? Doesn't happen too often in that sense. So let's talk about when it comes to marketing, guys. One of the factors that that affects our industry for exterior cleaning, which is seasonality and demand. And so why it matters. Pressure washing, is seasonal in many areas. So businesses must adapt marketing strategies accordingly. So guys, what does that mean? What does that mean? In the winter, if demand drops, right? Offer holiday lighting as an add-on service. And I'm not saying, guys, that you need to have a full holiday lighting business in that sense. But what I am saying, though, is that you can at least offer that, get at least $10,000 to $15,000 extra during that time to go ahead and capture some more revenue, right? I know a lot of guys will tell you, well, just focus on this. You don't need to go ahead and do that. Well, guess what? If you're in New Jersey and it's like 18 degrees in the wintertime, you're not going to be able to just go ahead and easily be able to, still do exterior cleaning. That's why having an add-on service like light installation, tacks on some more jobs. Promote gutter cleaning for homeowners that, are preparing for the snow and the rain. So you want to have, the big takeaway of this, guys, is going to be, having services that are conducive to that particular season. So like spring and summer strategy, pre-book customers in the winter. And so what that means, guys, is that like whenever, like it's like right now, guys, it's March, but March 2025 when I'm making this video. But like in February, you can start calling some of your clients and saying like, hey, you're right. And this is why it's important to have a CRM that I talked about earlier, because you'll have all your customer information. And so one thing that you can go ahead and do is pre-book customers in the wintertime. So you can say, hey, we're offering $50 off if you go ahead and book on our calendar, over the, next month or whatever it may be. And so you start getting people pre-booked on your calendar so that you have that set revenue in place going into next month that you'll have. And so therefore, at that point, you're controlling your marketing. And so you can anticipate, what you need to go ahead and do going forward in that sense. And so that's why it's really good to pre-book customers in that sense, because it allows you to go ahead and have more control and consistency over your marketing. And then also you can run seasonal promotions like spring cleaning specials in that sense. And then you can adjust services based on weather, right? If it's the rainy season, promote roof and gutter cleaning. Drought season, like for my guys that are out there in Arizona and the West Coast, focus on driveway cleaning and different things like that, like in Denver, and those actual pressure washing services where you don't get a lot of algae buildup. Focus on those kind of services in that sense, if it's weather related. And so your marketing approach has to definitely, be different based off of what? Seasonality and demand. So the big takeaway is during the wintertime, offer services that are conducive for the winter, gutter cleaning, holiday lighting to stay busy, spring, summer, run spring cleaning promotions and pre-book customers. And then the third thing is adjust services based on weather, right? So focus on demand-driven jobs during that time. Also, another factor, guys, I want to talk about when it comes to your marketing and how it plays a role when you're between $0 to $10,000 is going to be customer lifetime value and retention, because you want to retain clients, right? Why does it matter? A repeat customer is 5 times cheaper to acquire than finding a new one, right? So turn one-time customers into repeat clients. So offer biannual cleaning package at a discount, right? So you can just say, hey, we'll do your house, and then if you also pay right now for a gutter cleaning, we'll come out here in the fall and we'll go ahead and do that, right? Put them on a package. Create a referral program, guys. So refer a friend and get $50 off your next service. And if it's not a next service, give them a referral card, right? Or give them a gift card in that sense. People love money that they can spend immediately. So if they refer a friend, at that point you can say, hey, I'll give you a $50 gift card to Amazon or whatever. You guys might say, man, $50, that's a lot of money. But if they're going ahead and giving you a lead for free that you didn't have to work at, or that you didn't have to pay for, or spend your time getting, man, that $50 is worth it, because that might be a $350 job. You know how many people wouldn't mind paying $50 for a $350 job at that point? You do that all day in that sense, right? And so you just need to stay in touch with your customers as well. So send happy holiday, emails or postcards to your clients in that sense. And then also post customer appreciation shout outs on Facebook and Instagram. And so you want to go ahead and make sure that you're developing that customer lifetime value and retaining the customers that you have. Because one of the biggest leaky buckets, which, doesn't necessarily affect guys between $0 to $10,000, but Your referral and your word of mouth, you may not get every single customer that you think back every single year, because guess what? They moved on and went to another company in that sense. That's why it's so important that you just stay in touch with your customers in that. So, another factor I want to talk about when it comes to what affects your marketing is going to be your branding and your reputation, right? So, why does it matter? Strong branding makes customers trust you faster and allows you to charge higher premium prices. And so the marketing approach that you need to have with this, guys, is going to be look professional from day one. Wear a uniform, clean shirt, clean pants, branded hat, right? Get a simple truck magnet or yard sign with your phone number in that sense, because you may not have enough money to get a full truck wrap, but you can get a simple truck magnet, whatever it may be. Get some form of branding out there, or some banner that's on your trailer, whatever it is. Build trust online. We talked about that, guys. Get at least, what I like to say, get at least 5-star reviews in the first month. Ask every customer. So I'd make it a goal to at least get at the very minimum at least 5-star reviews, because at the end of the year, that's 60 reviews that you have if you at least get 5 every single month. And then be consistent with your branding. Use the same colors, fonts, logos on your business card, website, and social media. You don't know how many guys that I see when they're first starting off between $0 to $10,000, where like their business card that they give me is way different than like the colors and branding that they have on their website, right? Or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one thing that you need to go ahead and end up doing, is making sure that you have consistent branding, right? And so the key takeaways here, guys, when it comes to your branding and reputation is present a professional image, get at least 5 Google reviews as fast as possible and every single month, and maintain consistent branding across social media, business cards, and website, right? So another thing that I want to talk about too when it comes to your marketing, and a factor that impacts it and what you should be doing at $0 to $10,000 is, what are you currently what's your current service offering? What are you currently offering? Because different services attract different customer types and affect your marketing strategy. So therefore, like basic services such as your house wash, driveway cleaning, those are high volume, lower ticket, pricing. And so, those things you can kind of focus your Google business profile and SEO on. And there's going to be competitors. Competitors exist by the droves on this, right? And so you have to really differentiate yourself by offering package deals, all of that stuff when it comes to those basic services in that sense, right? Premium services that are going to be like roof cleaning, paver sealing, and different things like that. Higher ticket jobs equals lower competition, you know what I mean? Or higher skill jobs too. So focus on education-based marketing, before and after videos, right? Videos showing you actually doing the process, all of that, because it requires trust. You want to build credibility with case studies and testimonials in that sense too. And then commercial services as well. Larger contracts and repeat business that requires cold outreach and networking, as I told you guys earlier in the video. And it has less competition, but it's a longer sales cycle. So be patient with, decision makers, right? So be patient, guys. So when it comes to your current service offering, always be looking at that and how that's going to affect your marketing in that sense, especially when you're from $0 to $10,000 a month. Because the key takeaway here is focus on high volume, low ticket services to start, obviously, and then introduce premium services as your credibility grows, and then explore commercial contracts for that long-term revenue stability, especially during the wintertime. So this is what I talk about, guys. One of the factors when it comes to the marketing, when you're between $0 to $10,000, is going to be the owner's time, availability, and involvement. And so why does this matter? New business owners wear multiple hats, whether that's sales, marketing, operations, admin, all of it. So time management is crucial. And so here is the marketing calendar, or not marketing calendar, but the calendar I told you guys about. So you guys need to do time blocking for marketing versus work. So in the mornings from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., do marketing in that sense, right? So social media posts, emails, cold calls, all of that stuff, because people are going to just be getting in. Those are still business hours, because people get into work between 8 to 9 a.m. in that sense. So you can do these activities. You can schedule your social media post. You can put all there you can put all the information out there, because even at 7 a.m., people are still scrolling their phone when they first get to work or when they're waking up in the morning. And so these are things that you can do. Then in the daytime from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you can do the job fulfillment, fulfilling all of those jobs and your calendar, your schedule, all of that. And in the evenings from like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., You can do customer follow-ups, you can do invoices, estimates, all of that stuff, and even you can still do some marketing and preparing for that stuff, right? And so you want to prioritize high ROI activities. What are some low ROI activities, right? Don't waste time tweaking a website for hours. Like, why I say that is because one of our clients that we took on that is at this revenue range in that sense, and they're in a very low rural area, so that's why we took them on in that sense, because it was going to be easy to rank them. Before they started working with us, he told me that he worked 6 hours on a website tweaking it. And then he ended up calling us anyway. So I said, dude, you literally just wasted your 6 hours, because all of those 6 hours of doing all that work that you didn't know how to do, you could have been doing something else, right? And so don't waste your time on low, ROI activities in that sense. And so you can leverage automation to save time. So like have Facebook autoresponders, to message back leads, use Google Calendar reminders for follow-ups, right? For sales, for customers, all of that. And then you can outsource your admin tasks if revenue allows, by hiring a virtual assistant to handle like appointment scheduling, answering the phone for you, whatever it may be. You can hire those kind of guys for $5 an hour on onlinejobs.ph in the Philippines, right? And $5 an hour is $800 a month. And trust me, if you're doing like, let's say $8,000 a month in that sense in your business, and you're between $0 to $10,000, guess what? You can afford having somebody with $800 do a lot of your appointment scheduling and all of that, because it frees up more of your time, right? To me, that's $800 worth, because if you have an extra 10 hours of your time, you can probably make $800 with an extra 10 hours of your time and more, right? And so the key takeaways is prioritize revenue generating activities, marketing and sales, automate or delegate admin tasks, and use a structured daily schedule to balance growth and actual job execution in that sense. And so networking and local presence is another factor as well when it comes to your marketing, when you're doing when you're doing between $0 to $10,000. And why does it matter? Word of mouth and local partnerships are key for new businesses, since paid ads are costly. So attend local business events, right guys? So join the Chamber of Commerce. Network at real estate investor meetups. They need property cleaning, right? Network with Airbnb owners. Partner with other home service businesses, as we talked about, but also do community engagement. So sponsor a local event or a youth sports team, right? Because you can network with, the fathers and the mothers of the players of like those, youth sports teams, all of that stuff, right? Offer a free demonstration at a local HOA meeting. You know what I mean? Or even offer a free washing to a local HOA, member in that sense, or person that's in the HOA in that, right? Because that's going to go ahead and increase community engagement, which increases the amount of leads that you get. Do local business cards and flyer drop-offs. So like drop off flyers, at gyms, coffee shops, home improvement stores, right? And leverage word of mouth marketing. So incentivize your customers, as we talked about, guys. So the key takeaways are like attend local chamber of commerce meetings and real investor groups, partner with other home service businesses, and leave, business cards, flyers, and high traffic local business areas. Now let's actually specifically talk about referral and word of mouth strength. Like, what is your current referral word of mouth strength? Is it weak? Is it strong? Where is it at? Because referrals convert higher and cost $0 in your marketing spend. So as we talked about earlier, guys, build a simple referral program, right? That's one thing that you can easily do. Offer gift cards, whatever it may be. But the thing I want to focus on right now is ask for referrals at the right time, which a lot of guys don't do. They might do it like, a month or two down the line when they really need a job, but it's like, you need to do it even when you don't need it. And so ask for referrals at the right time. So after job completion, hey, would you happen to know, a specific friend or neighbor who needs a house wash, right, guys? And even follow up by text 3 days later. Hope you're loving the clean home now. Who do you know could use our service? I'll give them a discount. And the operative word here, guys, that I'm going to highlight is who do you know? Because if you say, do you know anybody that could use our services? Somebody can just say no. Conversation's ended. But if you say, who do you know that could use our services? It really gets somebody to think. Because they can't just say, who do you know that could use our services? It doesn't make sense if they say no, right? So it's like they have to really think about who that person is in that sense, right? And so you also want to encourage social proof referrals. So ask a customer to post their own before and after photos on Facebook, tagging their friends. Because it's one of your customers, they probably have friends that are just like them, right? That would value your service, that have enough money to spend for your service in that sense. And then, as I talked about, guys, run a tag a friend giveaway. So, for example, you can make a Facebook post that says tag someone who needs their driveway cleaned, and they could win a free service, right? And so the key takeaways here, guys, are for your word of mouth is offer a simple referral program, ask customers for referrals immediately after completing jobs, encourage social media referrals by having customers tag your business in their post. So you also, guys, when it comes to marketing, when you're doing between $0 to $10,000, a factor is going to be existing relationships and partnerships. So why does it matter? A business can grow faster by leveraging existing relationships instead of always trying to generate all new customers all the time. And a lot of guys will try to go ahead and do that, and I say maximize customers you already have. So what does that mean, guys? Tap into personal and family networks. So offer free or discounted services to friends and family in exchange for referrals. And these are going to be the people that know, like, and trust you, and even love you as well, right? And so these are going to, of course, for them, it's not going to be much effort, or they're not going to need much incentive to go ahead and refer you in that sense. So you can also ask them if they know property managers, realtors, business owners who might need pressure washing. And you can leverage existing employer or industry contacts. So if you're doing this part-time, go ahead and leverage your existing coworkers, right? If you previously worked at another like home, if you have like previous, experience in home services or different things, like reach out to past employers, colleagues, or contractors in that sense that you worked with, right? So if you did, let's say that you were doing like spray foam installation, or let's just say like dryer vent cleaning, but you're doing pressure washing now, but you had worked for a guy that did dryer vent cleaning, you probably came across certain like people that that were strategic referral partners, or people that you guys did business with, services with. Reach out to those guys, you know what I mean, and leverage your existing network right now to get more jobs as well. And so the key takeaways here, guys, when it comes to your existing relationships and partnerships is going to be leverage personal and family networks for early jobs, partner with realtors, property managers, and commercial clients, you know what I mean, and leverage your existing employer industry contacts. And so also a big thing when it comes to your marketing, guys, when you're between $0 to $10,000, a factor is going to be what is your sales skills and what does your conversion process look like, right? So a business can generate hundreds of leads, but if it can't close it, it won't grow. So once again, guys, I'm really hammering this down. I know we talked about it earlier a little bit, but I'm hammering this down is follow up with every lead. Use visuals in sales. And so what does that mean, guys? I've seen one of our clients have way better conversion rates when they sent out estimates, when they, digitally too, when they have like before and after photos, and also when they even have customer testimonials on those, on those quotes in that sense, right? And guess what? Because a person's seeing that value right up front, right? They're trusting you. You're building that brand authority as well, but you're building that trust with that individual because you have a customer testimonial, and then you have the work that you've done already in that sense. And so the key takeaways is follow up multiple times with unclosed leads and use visuals to reinforce the value of your services. And so pricing and positioning is also important for your marketing when you're at $0 to $10,000 as well, and is a factor. So new businesses often price too low or too high, right? Finding the right price builds trust and maximizes profits. So have competitive but profitable pricing, as we talked about, guys. Don't be the cheapest. You know what I mean? Charge at least $200, a job to remain profitable. As I talked about earlier in the video, guys, it's either you do something for free or you do it profitably, right? Offer service packages, as we talked about, guys. One big thing that I want to focus on here that's going to be new is display transparent pricing. So customers trust businesses that clearly list prices on their website and social media. And why do they do that? Because they know what they're getting into. And so also when that customer calls you, it's going to be easier to close them because they already know what to expect generally, right? And so the key takeaways here, guys, are going to be when it comes to pricing and positioning and how it affects your marketing is be transparent about pricing to build trust and eliminate objections. And of course, avoid being the cheapest and offer bundled services. And so one thing that, a lot of guys don't do, or they focus too heavily upon, is going to be your local competitor strategies. That also plays a role in your marketing and is a factor when you're doing between $0 to $10,000 in that sense. And what do I mean by that? Why does it matter? Because understanding what competitors are doing well or poorly helps your business stand out. And so study your competitor reviews. That's one thing that I see that guys don't do. Look at their bad reviews. So if if they offer solutions where competitors fail at. So for example, if customers complain about poor communication, emphasize fast response times in your marketing, right? Position differently than the bigger companies. So if a big company has slow response times, advertise same day quotes and next day service, right? And so that's something that you can go ahead and do. If a competitor lacks customer service, focused on personalized attention and say like, hey, I can give you more personalized attention in that sense. And so the key takeaways here, guys, are study your competitors' reviews and highlight their weaknesses in your marketing and differentiate yourself through customer service, response times, and guarantees. And so the last factor here, guys, is going to be market education and awareness needs. Sometimes your customers don't know that they need this, right? And so this is going to be a factor when it comes to your marketing and, when you're between $0 to $10,000. Because as I just talked about, many customers don't even realize they need pressure washing. And so you need to go ahead and market in a way that uses educational marketing, right? So create videos showing how dirt damages driveways and siding, teach the value of regular maintenance, explain why soft washing prevents mold growth, right? Show how a clean driveway increases home value. Educate your customer, just like how I'm educating you guys right now because you are my customer. Educate your customer as well, guys. You know what I mean? And so the key takeaways are educate customers on why pressure washing is necessary, whether it's home value, maintenance, overcome objections in your marketing. So DIY pressure washing is risky, and use video content to showcase, cleaning transformations, your processes, and different things like that because it builds trust. So what are the overall key takeaways that you guys should take away from this video in this sense is prioritize free marketing before investing into ads, right? So if you're doing between $0 to $10,000, the key takeaways, guys, if you're doing between $0 to $10,000 a month in your exterior cleaning businesses, prioritize free marketing before investing into ads, focus on speed to lead for better conversion rates. Google Business Profile, referrals, and social media are the top drivers of leads for your digital marketing, right? And branding and professionalism matter even as a new business. And so the next step is, guys, is implement at least 2 or 3 strategies from today's presentation, right? Focus on fast lead generation before scaling ads, or even starting them, and start tracking where your leads are coming from. These are the biggest 3 things that I think that you guys should do, especially focus on fast lead generation and start tracking where your leads are coming from, right? And so if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. I answer the questions personally myself, and I'd love to help you guys out in any situation that you're in. And so if you need help with your online marketing, if you guys are like, hey, Jonathan, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know if I qualify. Well, then guess what, guys? Go to pwmarketingpros.com/free strategy call right here on the screen. And guess what, guys? My team will be able to go ahead and help you when it comes to whether it's like looking at your market, SEO, web design, ads, anything that you need, guys. We can go ahead and help you or evaluate that with you. So go ahead and leave any questions that you guys have below. Our website will be linked in the description below as well. But you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.